Alright, welcome back. So I am yet here in Chikumi, the boundary of Makerere University and the students hub. Anyway, we are heading in the distance, and I thought I should show you Kampala, Uganda, on the 21st of actually not 21st, 31st of December 2025, the last day of the year. It's a great place to be, and I think I'm looking for where to eat food from. And I think anyway, before I eat food, let me take you around just to see how the neighborhoods of Makerere are. And right now I'm on Muganzi Awongera, and this road has a very long name. Muganzi Awongera, I think, must have been a person, but if you really translate the meaning of the name, it means a beloved one. And then Awongwe, I think, is gifted, like presents are given to them. But anyway, this marks the boundary between the formal educational establishment of Makerere University and the informal enterprise of Chikumi. Though recently a lot of them are getting registered and getting licenses from the city council to operate, so it's translating to a more formal tax contributing economy. Anyway, the surface that we walk here is one that was upgraded recently, and recently, that's roughly about 6 years ago, that's 2019. And by political standards, yeah, that's relatively recent, because this was actually potholed earth road, and it was very terrible for the scholars who live in the suburbs of Chikumi, trying to access the lecture rooms of Makerere University. And at that time there was no perimeter wall, so basically there were porous borders, and that wall also was constructed around the same time, having been lobbied by the then leader of the convocation of Makerere, Dr. Tango Dai. I see food right here, so I think on my return journey I'll try to get food from there. So anyway, this is Kampala on the 31st of December, and these are the suburbs of Makerere University. Much as this is a student hub and Makerere being in holidays, I actually see considerable amount of food traffic, which is a sign that either people are organizing themselves or returning into the city for the new year. And some of them are going for overnight prayers to transition into the new year. Some probably events, those who are less religious and more secular. So Uganda is actually a country blessed with food. I see maize being roasted on the street, and that is good enough. And see fresh foodstuffs being sold here, so it's like a mini market, a bit organized stall for selling food. And I think it gives a lot of courage to people driving along this road to buy some foodstuff. I see a lot of burglar proofing, but I think that's because the gentleman decided to take advantage of the outside spaces to store food, so not because Uganda is insecure. Oh, see Worship Harvest, Makerere branch. They have multiple branches, but I don't know where the main church is really. And if anyone knows, please do let me know in the comments section. And Makerere University is actually gifted, and this is one of their gates that kind of gets me wondering, why is it even there? But then again, when you look critically in the distance, you'll see the writing Center of Biosecurity and Global Health. So this is where animals kind of go in, and that's the College of Veterinary Medicine. Contributed a lot of groundbreaking research in the history of agriculture, more so animal husbandry in Uganda. And it's also the center of One Health. And at that time I thought One Health was just a slogan, but more it deals with health across any living species, plant, animal, and humans. So definitely there is always a bridge between those. And Uganda is actually sitting on a goal that is Makerere University, a place that admits only the elite, both in Uganda and Africa at large. And it's now already, I think, 7 p.m. It's therefore dark. Now, motorcycle guys are not serious, because these are like taxi operators. Whenever they see people standing like those, their attention is diverted. One almost bumped into me, getting me off what I was saying. Look at how Uganda is blessed and gifted. Anyway, it's the rainy season. This place is all green. And it's getting dark. I don't know whether my Sony Xperia 5 will do me much justice while filming this walking vlog, which is in 4K. And this is just to usher in the new year. I'm going to walk the extreme end of the street where this Muganza Wonga meets Sapporo Agwa Road. A part of me wants me to go and show you Bombo Road. I have a feeling I have shown you this street before. But anyway, since I just want to show you the atmosphere of Kampala on the 31st day, I am going to take a detour and join Bombo Road just to show you how the main street looks like this evening. And I am actually expecting a lot of movement, seeing that people are trying to get to their churches for night prayers, some to functions and events. And this is a street that, let me find the name for you. But as we move, I like the tree canopies around here. And this area used to have some sort of makeshift shelters, but that has long been fenced off. I suppose there was a little fear of encroachment, which is common with Uganda, more so when you have kind of empty land. And that actually rises up to, there's a church on the top of the hill, which is also really green because it is nestled among trees. Anyway, let me find out the name of this road, because it's going to slope me and join Bombo Road. So I'm going to take advantage of my Google Maps and I think locations. Will it do me any justice? But alright. Google Maps are very interesting, and if you really have to move. It's actually called Makerere Primary School Road. Makerere Primary School Road, because I think either this is Makerere Primary School or there's one up at the top of the hill where the church is. So Makerere Primary Road, Kipipa. Okay, there's a tank hill on top. Okay, Kipipa. There's a water tank up, and people normally use it as means a tank or drum. But there's also this school right here. I do not know, but I'll find out. But I think this is called Makerere Yellow. Which one is attached to the school? To the university? I don't know. And this is going to take us right to meet Bombo Road in the distance. And Uganda is actually blessed with Kavule women, and I see some in the distance. And yeah, it is actually dark. Maybe you may not be able to appreciate that. And I didn't know they are actually a route into, those are actually more suburbs. And this, I think, are staff quarters. I see the structure look like they were precast panels and then assembled into structures, which is a bit synonymous with government aided schools. I say Freedom Adult Education School, but that's just because they are being accommodated by the primary school that is here. And it's very interesting that they wear yellow, and yellow is one of those colors that are very hard to find as school uniforms. It's too bright. It's too bright, and I feel like it becomes very hard to distinguish. This road has always been on the works. I think for the last 15 years I've known it, never have been properly improved. But I see a lot of gravel poured on it. I don't know whether the gravel is to help with anything per se. Now what you see right there in the distance, the street or the road that you see, is Bombo Road. It's actually one of the major arterials. I don't know why I keep calling it arterials, but it's a radio road. One of the first roads that left the city center, taking you to parts of the country, more so northern parts of the country, northern Uganda. And Bombo is a town heading northwards, after which you'll find yourself places like Gululira, and so on in the northern parts of Uganda. Of course, more roads have come up that would link you there, but this was the original main road, and therefore you find more towns along it. Anyway, let's trek the length of this Bombo Road, and this should take us to a roundabout that heads to Bwaise and also joins Sapolo Kagwa Road. Sapolo Kagwa Road also has its own stories, but that will be for a later time in this video. But yeah, so look at, and this makes sense because I have a feeling more people are actually returning into the city, and therefore there's traffic jam leading into the city. Actually, that is where the city is, its center, and this is the route from northern Uganda. Bwaise, Kawempe, Bombo, then you proceed to Masindi, Hoima, Lira, Gulu, in that order until you reach the border of Uganda and South Sudan, one of the new countries in Uganda. I think it's just a little over 10 years old, and I don't think they've made 15 years, which is good, and I hope they are better at organizing their country and not fall into the traps of some of our countries that were mostly run on colonial systems, which were simply taken on by our current leaders. Basically, it was an exploitative system, and it still stays. Uganda is actually heading towards national presidential elections and members of parliament. So on the 15th January, we shall be having elections. And anyway, let's walk. So we are still on Bombo Road, just before we meet Bwaise. Actually, from there you'll actually see a northern bypass, which was built to kind of alleviate traffic on the main street of Kampala. In other words, people don't have to be going to the north, don't really need to use the Bombo Road, but they could join the northern bypass, which was or has a relatively higher speed limit, and find themselves rotating Kampala through the northern route. Okay, I say infrastructure. Now, much as these are within the neighborhoods of Makerere, some of these are now more residential, though students will still trickle and inhabit some of these parts, but not so much so. Anyway, so this is more targeting of other communities other than the student communities. That's where you find that businesses are now ranging from car garages, motorcycle repair workshops, and hotel or motel like kind of infrastructure. It is evening, it is 7 p.m. and Uganda has a beautiful weather, neither cold, neither hot, just enough for you to live without having sweaters or having to walk in shorts. Anyway, let's take this walk. And if you like this video, please do hit the subscribe button, and we shall meet in subsequent videos. So it is a delight to have you here, and I think I am going to walk all this entire stretch. I don't know how many minutes we are in, but I'll be very glad showing you the action in the city. The city is now more busy than it was before, but that said, now is also the time to return into the city because the jam hasn't yet built up, and I think transport for people who are returning now may not be yet hefty. Probably as January starts, the 2nd, the 3rd, transport will hike, and so we were planning to return will have trouble. I have always thought of bicycles as something to get you physically fit. So having a motorized bicycle, to me, I feel like it's not helpful But now that man is doing the right thing. I just saw an electric bicycle. But then again, there's that saying, it's better to have and not have. At times, you may need to have pedal assist and you don't have that. But I kind of feel like having it also gives you the temptation not to exert yourself. Anyway, Bombo Road for you. Caps Pre-Primary School. And come with me, let's proceed. So Kampala, on the last day or last evening of 2025, I have never understood certain riders. This guy sees me going and he's fighting for the road. I think at times it's just indiscipline and bad behavior. Most of such guys with very tiny cars, very useless cars. My bad. But anyway, Bombo Road for you. And so this gives you a picture of what is likely to be happening in the city center, which is in that direction of Bombo Road. Anyway, since I'm in the direction of flow of traffic, a lot of motorcycles are trying to hail me to get my attention. So these guys repair pool tables or simply manufacture them, but I think more of repairing. So pool table is one of the things that take people to bars and pubs to kind of kill time. And like I was telling you, this area is less student-like, so it gears towards the general community. So I see hotels. That is Twin Tower Hotel, and I see Kampala Coupling. This kind of gives me foreign vibes. I don't know whether it's Catholic founded, but yeah, that's it. Twin Tower. Oh, I have a feeling this was one building. Sorry, it was initially one hotel, but then now splits into two. I see. That has brothel kind of vibes, and this has more of accommodation. Anyway, thank you for being with me on this road. It's surprisingly well lit. I don't think well lit, but the number of continuous cars that are moving are making it very easy for the street to be lit up. And in that direction, you'll find Chevando. And if you see the traffic or the car lights on cars moving, that's the northern bypass. We shall meet it on the other side. And this is very terrible. Imagine it was dark. I could sink myself into an entire manhole size hole. Now this is when I'm wishing I had my bicycle. But then again, riding and vlogging on a bicycle is a lot difficult. But I'll try it one day when I get tools that allow me mount. And on this section of Bombo Road coming from Kubiri, traffic light junctions in that direction towards the roundabout that takes you to Bwaise, there's actually a church right here called, I'm forgetting its name, but it operates actually a television channel. How has the name disappeared? But people are actually preparing for Passover night. Let me just cross over to give you a glimpse of the action in that area. And that is true when I tell you. Start to cross this traffic. Motorcycles and cars all fighting for the same space that pedestrians need to use. I will have to be a little patient with them and join in to the action. So these are the preparations. I can see a stage light and people arriving. I think that's why there's a bit of congestion around here. This is a church. I forget the name. If anyone knows, please do let me know. This is a pastor who is so much against false preachers. I forget his name, but he's one of those early Pentecostal movement founders. I see seats, but there's less lighting in the pavilion. Anyway, food, snack vendors targeting the crowds that will be here And this is Kampala on the 31st of December, leading and heading into the new year. I have a feeling that this video has run long, and whether I should chop it such that you guys have a piece of it. Now, because there are less cars, I think I'm seeing a lot more darkness. All these people are probably heading in for night prayers to usher in the new year. And at night, I believe there will be fireworks action taking place. And as such, we are moving. Anyway, welcome to our walking vlogs. And if you like them, please do hit the like button and hit subscribe. I believe these people are also in business. They're not going to close anytime soon because they're dealing in food stuff, and these neighbors, it's actually a hotel of sorts. I don't know whether I can find food there. Now, I'm going to hit that road, which is Kavule Road, and you can see hotels are now trying to hold events. Now, these are some of the secular guys. Now some of them are going to dance the night till the morning, and I believe certain musicians will be holding concerts here. I thought it was the hotel, but it's basically a public announcement van making that kind of noise, and I don't appreciate the noise. So now that is the roundabout, and on top of it is the northern bypass. Basically, the northern bypass comes all the way from Makerere to the right, and to the left goes all the way to meet Entebbe Express Highway. So in case you want to avoid the congestion and jam of the city, that's the thing. Now, under the northern bypass, just slightly beyond this roundabout, is an underpass that takes you to Bwaise, Kawempe, towards Bombo Town, the main. Okay. Alright, so this is the action on the 31st of December. So let me just leave you with these streets and tell me what you think. And because we are in the election season, I think this has become a camp of guys preaching the NRM, but most of them don't do it from selfless act, but for the prospect of the pay they can be able to shake from the president, who has all the country's finances at his disposal. Anyway, thanks for watching, and that is the Sapolo Kagwa Road, who was one of the prime ministers of Uganda Kingdom in the past. So see you in the next video. Ciao.